right, folks. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about main topic number 2. And main topic number 2, which is not the second rideshare story, that's coming at the end of the episode, is that in a world of streaming options where we have more and more, we have yet another one that has launched today, and that is Peacock. Yes, Peacock. I still hate that name. Peacock. Although I do like the fact that I can say Peacock, and this is still a G-rated show, technically. I do like that, but it's a stupid name. And here's what's also funny. They don't have, like, the Peacock logo. Like this is why they called it Peacock, because it's an NBC channel, and this is their logo. You know, they've got a peacock. So they decided to be cute, and they were going to call Peacock after that peacock, but they don't have the peacock logo. Anyway, that's kind of like a small thing in the grand scheme of things. So I was playing with Peacock. That sounded so wrong. I was playing with Peacock. Oh, I'm having too much fun this episode. I was doing a live stream last night on this channel, first impressions of the service, and we were kind of looking through the interface, the offerings that they had for the movies. I, for the record, have the highest tier, so I have access to everything. Peacock is free, but if you want certain movies and if you want everything to have no ads, or most things to have no ads, you have to pay for it. I paid for it before my current financial situation, so I'm hoping Peacock will provide a lot of entertainment over the next year, because I'm not buying a whole lot more. But here's the thing. I was researching Peacock all morning. You know, fun thing of doing my job now is I'm on Peacock all day, looking at shows and movies and playing with the interface. Discovered something I didn't discover early this morning, which I now have to add to the first impressions when it goes up on the vlogs channel. And my initial impression is it's okay. It's weird that the selection is very bizarre. Like, for example, they have Shrek 1 on Peacock, but they don't have the other 3 Shrek movies. Likewise, they have one Land Before Time movie on Peacock, but they don't have all 14 or the TV series. And the movie isn't even the first Land Before Time, it's movie number 7. Because, why? Because I don't know why. They do have a section dedicated to Alfred Hitchcock, which is nice, but they don't have all of his movies. They have, like, some of his greatest hits, except for, like, North by Northwest, and, maybe that'll get filled in a little later. When I look at, like, the movie descriptions, it's interesting. They list the first few actors, and they have, like, a movie description, but they don't tell you who directed the film, and they don't tell you, like, if it won any awards or not. There's a few Best Picture winners on there. Like, they have The Sting on there, which won, like, 7 Oscars, including Best Picture and Director. You'd think they'd brag about that, but they don't. They just don't. They do have the Rotten Tomatoes score, which I've never really understood. Why are they putting the Rotten Tomatoes score on these movie listings? Because if the Rotten Tomatoes score is high, yeah, of course it's going to encourage you to watch the movie. But if it's low, isn't it also going to encourage you not to watch the movie? Like, why would they do that? I mean, it seems like it shouldn't be that important. Interestingly, I spent the most time in the kids section because it was fascinating to see, like, a lot of old cartoons that had only survived, like, 1 season and then you'd never heard from them again showing up again on a major streaming service. Like, they had the Beethoven animated series. Like, Beethoven. Like, why? And then I found out Ivan Reitman produced that thing. Like, the Ghostbusters director? He produced the Beethoven cartoon? But it lasted 1 season and 26 episodes. They have Fievel's American Tales. This was a TV series based on an American tale. It only lasted 1 season, 13 episodes, and I think there was like a couple VHS tapes of a few episodes released. Otherwise, nothing, and it's on here. Interestingly, the movies aren't, but they are. What's also funny is that Universal has like a lot of great family movies. They have like Coraline, and they've got like that We're Back movie. They've got some Amblimation stuff. They've got some Steven Spielberg films. Almost none of these are on the service, even though they own them. But someone decided Barney's Great Adventure was worth watching, putting on the Peacock streaming service. Which, yeah, I guess I can watch Barney's Great Adventure, the movie, in widescreen finally. Like, I don't know. I don't know. They didn't have a lot. There were a lot of DreamWorks movies that were not on there, even though NBC Universal bought DreamWorks Animation. So the content is really slim right now, but of course it's new. And I will say there's probably some logic to the madness, because they can put stuff up slowly. And I actually think I did go through the entire catalog of what's on there, and they'll probably just add more. I mean, I know that when HBO Max launched, there was so much on there. Same thing with Disney Plus, that I got lost pretty darn fast about where to go. And that's going to be like a real telling point, because as more and more of these services come out, they start putting like, we're talking about thousands of movies and shows online. And how do you sort them, and how do you do it effectively? I don't think that they found a way. In fact, the weirdest thing that Peacock did is when you scroll down, they have like a list of highlights from like genres like thrillers, horror, and they have all movies. And you can go right, but then you hit a dead end. It won't go right anymore. And this was especially weird when I went to like all movies or all TV shows, and I went right and I wouldn't get through like A. And it's like, okay, what's going on? What happens is at the beginning of it, you have to swipe your remote left, and then a little button will appear, and there's no indication this button is there. But the button will appear, and it will say, Browse All, and you click on that, and then there's everything in alphabetical order. So that wasn't very obvious. And here's the other thing, though. Like, as more and more stuff, like, it takes forever to scroll down these things, and so at some point, it's going to be such a hassle. Like, they're going to have to start, like, adding, like, a letter. I don't know. And considering Universal's big thing with, like, directors and stuff, it is weird that they're not crediting the directors for, you know, these movies and these shows. Like, that just seems really very, very weird to me. Also, it should be noted, and this is one of the reasons Peacock is actually trending. Peacock and Roku are trending because Peacock is not available on Roku or it is on Apple TV, but it's not on Amazon Fire TV. That's what it is. So Amazon and Roku users are just SOL. They're just SOL. So, and it's now, as it says right now, it's free, but if you go down here and you say upgrade for more premium, you'll start seeing a lot of very popular shows and movies that really people would want to use Peacock for. And then, of course, you can pay more and get ads free. So anyway, my initial thoughts on Peacock is that it's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's one more streaming service. But I have to admit, out of all the streaming services that I've added recently, in the last year, you know, I've gotten Disney Plus, and I've gotten the Criterion Channel, and we got HBO Max. And I signed up for Funimation Now, which isn't technically new, but it's new to me. And one of the fun things that you do when you first get like a streaming service, it's kind of like a Christmas present. It's like a buffet. You go to the buffet and you start putting things in your watch list. And by the way, whenever you finish the watch list, you know that you're never going to watch all this stuff. There's just not enough time in your life to watch it. There's not enough time of the year. There's a lot more time to do it now because we're in shutdown again, essentially, but you put together a watch list, and it's like a buffet, and then you start slowly eating away at it, and usually the list just continues to grow and grow and grow, and then sometimes it's sobering when you look at that list and you realize, how many years has that movie been in the list, and maybe I should just finally watch it? I think I probably put 24 shows and movies on my Peacock watch list. Some of which are just there for curiosity's sake, like some of these kids' cartoons. Okay, I'll watch an episode or two of Beethoven just to see what it was like, but I mean, I watched one episode already, and it's not great, for example, so I'll probably take it off the list. So I will say, this is like out of all the streaming services I've gotten the last year, Peacock has probably resulted in the least amount of watch list additions on day one compared to any of these other streaming services I got. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's like a pretty big, that's a red flag for me. That means that come the end of the year, if this doesn't improve much, then I'll probably just cancel the premium thing of Peacock. I probably will just cancel it. Like right now, it's new. I can write it off as a business expense because I'm making videos like this. But for personal use, I'm not exactly sure if Peacock is going to stick around in my home for the long term. So, that's my little mini review of Peacock. But I do want to know, what do you think? Have any of you downloaded Peacock, free version, premium without ads, whatever version, and what are your thoughts on it so far? And were you aware of that swipe left for the browse all button? I cannot be the only person who did not see that. So anyway, I'd love to know what you think. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly.